Hello friends, welcome back to Random Hearts. Today we are out in the garage and I am in the process of putting a garage sale together. Now I know garage sales are not a seriously popular thing anymore, but I find that if I have a lot of items, it's usually a better route to go than to try to sell things on Facebook Marketplace or other online platforms. So we have been in the process of decluttering and getting rid of a lot of excess and things that are just not working for us in our home over the last year. And I have a lot of things that I need to get rid of. So a garage sale is our best bet. We can get rid of a lot of things all at once and for minimal effort on my part. Now, I do have some tricks and tips that can help make a garage sale more successful. And the first one is to clean. I don't know how many times I've gone to a garage sale myself and looked around at either the items or the garage itself and everything was filthy. And so I want you to think about when you go into an actual retail store. If you were to go into a store and all their shelves were dirty or all the items were dirty, would you stay in that store or would you just walk out? And are you going to buy anything in there? So I think of my garage sale as a retail store. It's retail to me. I'm trying to sell items I no longer need or use. And so I want to, for the effort, I want to get the most out of this. So the first thing is to clean. Clean the space that you're going to sell your items in. Clean the items themselves. Things over time definitely get dirty. And even if they're gently used or not even used at all, we had a couple of items that are brand new. They're still in their original boxes, but they were dirty, they were dusty. And if you just leave that on there, people are going to be like, wow, how long has that been sitting around your house? And it may only be a year. We have a lot of dust in our area. And so it might not have been sitting there for as long as it looks like. But clean things, make them shiny and brand new again, and make sure stuff works. So that's our first step, is to clean, make it look beautiful. So tip number 2, or the second thing that I do when I am putting together a garage sale, is I think about my items as parts of a department store. So again, we're thinking about a retail store, and I want to set up my garage so that it is compartmentalized. So if you're looking for a coat, you can go straight to the clothing section, and I usually even separate coats, and I tend to separate men's and women's clothing as well, so that you can find those things very quickly. I don't want people in my garage for an hour and a half looking for something. I want them to find what they're looking for and find it quickly, just like you would any other retail store. You want people in and out fast. And so if I put things into departments and people can easily find them, then I am being more effective, and people shopping are also having a more effective use of their time, because they can find what they're looking for rather than sifting through piles of things. So organize your items. Have certain places for everything. Keep your office supplies together. Keep your gardening supplies together. Keep your tools together. Separate out things that can get like jumbled and bobbled together, like clothing. So put your shoes in one area, your pants in another, and just keep everything neat and organized. I also tend to hang a lot of items because hanging seems to help sell items faster than folding. So we have hanging rods set up in our garage that the hooks are permanently in our ceiling. They are always there. And my husband and I just put up some real cheap hangers. In fact, these were hangers that came out of our closets when we remodeled our house. And we just kept them for this purpose. And they hang from the ceiling and they work beautifully. But I find that people will buy things much better if it's hung up than folded. And you can even display things. If I've got an outfit that I know works really good together, I will put those two items together and kind of throw them kind of up front so people will see them. And don't be afraid to go back through and as people have come in, we have hordes of people sometimes that come in all at once. And don't be afraid to go in and refold things and rehang up things, because it will get messy if you don't do that stuff while your garage sale is in process. So make sure you're keeping things organized, keeping them in a department store type fashion. Number 3, don't overprice. Keep your items priced appropriately. You don't want to be packing these things back up again and putting them into storage. You want to get rid of them. You're done with them. You have used them. They're no longer serving your purpose in your home, and you want to be done with them. And so pricing them appropriately will help them go faster. If you go to a garage sale and you have seen an object that you know its retail value, and the person selling it is selling it for nearly what it cost them, and it's not in the best of shape anymore, you're probably going to think to yourself, not only do I not want this item, but that makes me think that most of the items in their garage sale will be overpriced as well, because they're not looking at what its actual value is. They're looking at it as what it cost them. And I want you to think about, I think about it this way, that the items that I am selling in my garage sale are no longer working for me. That's why I'm getting rid of them. They either don't work anymore for what I need, or they don't fit, or we've outgrown them, or something has changed in our life that we just don't need that item anymore. It served our purpose. We got our money's worth out of it. It's not really money anymore, and it has no value to me. Now, it might have value to somebody else, and that's where you need to think about it. So if someone else can find value in it, they'll purchase it. But if it's overpriced, they won't even look at it. So I have a system that I've been using for years, and it kind of puts items into 2 categories. So you have your high-end items and your low-end items. And I want you to think things like furniture, appliances, electronics that are in good working order and are not outdated. Those can be high-end items. Those can be the ones that you can put a higher price on and people will still buy them. And here's what I choose to do. So if I have, let's say I have a patio set I'm trying to sell and I paid $100 for it, I would sell that for 25% of what I originally purchased it for. So I would sell that for $25. And that seems to work pretty well. There are a few times when I feel like something might be in really good shape, or it's practically brand new, or somebody could take that box and just walk down to Walmart and return it for the full value. I will sell for a little bit higher, but typically 25% of its original retail for high-end items is what I sell them for. Now, the second category is your low-end items, and that would be things like clothing, housewares, bedding, home decor. Those kinds of items typically lose their value very fast because they're no longer popular. They have an outdated shelf life. And if you don't sell them quickly enough, no one's going to want them. They're just going to be old. And so items like that I look at, and if it's in good shape still and it still is working, then I will price that item about 1/10 of what I paid for it. So let's say I purchased a pair of jeans for $15. And I know that's a little bit crazy because who buys jeans for $15 anymore? I will sell that pair of jeans for $1.50 and no more. They have to be in good condition. They have to have working buttons and zippers, and I will sell them for $1.50. Now, that might sound crazy, but it will sell it. And like I said before, you want to sell these items. I don't want to pack them back up. I don't want to deal with this again. I don't want to see this stuff again. I've already seen it once trying to get it out of my house, and now I'm going to see it again doing a garage sale. So I don't want to see it anymore. I want it gone. I want that person, that perfect person, to find it and say, what a deal. Look what I just found. My fourth and final tip to having a successful garage sale is visibility. And I'm talking about lots of different aspects here, so we'll talk about each one individually. But the first one and the biggest one is to let people know you are having a garage sale. Make it visibly known that you're having a garage sale. I don't know if you've ever done this, but I have a couple of times where I've driven by a house that I thought a garage sale was at, but I'd look in, the door's open, and there's stuff piled all over, but it doesn't look like there's a garage sale because there's no signage. No one has said, hey, I'm having a garage sale today. They didn't put anything out that said they're having a garage sale. And so it doesn't look like there's a garage sale. Now, if there's people there, it's pretty obvious. But if you're not putting a sign up in front of your house that says, we're having a garage sale, you're probably not going to get the traffic that you're hoping for. And I do happen to live on a busy street. I don't know if you've heard some of the traffic driving by, but it is one of our main arteries back and forth in town. And so a lot of people travel the street in front of my house just to get in and out of their little subdivisions and go back and forth to work. And so we will run our garage sales on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning if we still have items to sell on Sunday. And we'll catch a lot of people on Friday morning just because they are going to work at that point. And that's where having your garage sale very organized can help, because you didn't advertise this garage sale and these people are on their way to work. They probably only have about 5 minutes to spend at your garage sale. And if you have everything organized for them, they can be in and out quick. So visibility is a huge, huge deal, especially letting people know I'm having a garage sale today. Put your signage up. Make sure you've got strategies for which locations are better to put signs at. We pretty much have been doing this for 16 years, and so we know exactly what streets get the most traffic and where to put our signs. And we also put our signs on both sides of our mailbox so that we can catch people both going up or down our street. But it's very effective, and also moving items out to your driveway can sometimes help as well. Don't leave everything in the garage, because sometimes that just makes it look like you don't have a lot of things. So visibility in the form of signage, super important. The next part of visibility is just making your items visually appealing. So like I had said earlier, making sure that things are clean and organized. If you have your owner's manual, make sure that's right with the item so that someone will be appreciative of buying that item and know that you've taken good care of it and kept the owner's manual, and they will know how to use that item because they've got the original owner's manual. Also, keep your cords tidied. We use a lot of zip ties when we are doing garage sales. We also use a lot of Ziploc bags. And mostly that is to keep items that need to go together as a set together. I will also tape things sometimes together, or I'll write on the tape that this is part of a set. So let's say they are buying a bunch of mugs, and I will say this is a set of 8. That way when they come up to pay for it, they know they've got their whole set, and that they're paying the price that was for that set. That also tells people that I want these sold as a set. I don't want to individually sell 8 mugs. I want to try to sell them as a set. If I cannot do that, then I will eventually turn them into individual items. But for the first 2 days, everything is set up the way I set it up, and I don't stray from it. The other thing is to make sure during your garage sale, like I'd said earlier, you want to go through and kind of organize stuff and refold and put stuff back on hangers. And, you know, as you have people in your garage, they will pick up items and sometimes go sit them somewhere else, and it's not where they should be. And that happens in a grocery store and in the department stores and retail stores too. Go backs. It needs to go back to where it came from. And so you need to visually keep things appealing throughout the process of your garage sale. And it doesn't hurt sometimes to move items. Like I'd said, moving items out to your driveway helps with people knowing that you're having a garage sale, But moving items within your garage can sometimes help sell them. I have had objects that have sat on a table or hung on a rack for hours and no one really noticed them. But as soon as I move them or I put them in a different position, they typically go almost immediately. It's almost like I put them in a spotlight and took them out of their hiding place or wherever, whatever was causing the problem that they weren't selling. But moving items, keeping it organized, keeping it clean, having your owner's manuals right there with the object that you're selling, that is some of the best visually appealing things you can do for people. It just tells them right away, these people take care of their stuff and they've got everything here for me. And it's going to be a set or whatever your tag is telling them. This is what you're going to get. You won't get a surprise when you go to pay for it. The final visibility aspect is pricing. So when I am pricing items, I use 3 pricing implementations. I use masking tape, tags, or like I said earlier, Ziploc bags. Now, when I'm using masking tape, I use a little higher end masking tape. I go with the painter's tape, which has a better release on it and it won't leave a sticky residue. And nothing's more irritating to me when I get an object and I've got to take sticker residue off of it. So I use painter's tape, and I also will flip the corner of the tape over so that it's easier to grasp. So whoever's buying that item can easily take that tape off without damaging the item they're purchasing. So the biggest reason that I have those implementations is so that I can write on them. And I put a lot of information on those. And I know it takes a long time for that, to do some of that, but it is well worth it in the end, because then people don't have to ask you a million questions. They don't have to look at an item and say, what is this? What does it go to? Is this part of a set? What size is it? How much do you want for it? And all of that information is right there in front of them on that implementation that I'm using. So I use magic marker and I'll just write directly on that implementation exactly what it is and how much I want for it. Now, I do not stray from pricing at all on the first 2 days. The first 2 days, we get what we have asked for on it. I do not allow bargaining, and a lot of people think that that's kind of crazy, but most people will not bargain with you if you have the price marked clearly. We do have signage that we put up. Sometimes on the second day, at the end of the day, we will put a sign up that will say, if you're willing to wait till tomorrow, everything will be 50% off. Not always does that happen, because not always do we have a third day for garage sales. So like I said, things go pretty fast. And you might be missing out because somebody already purchased it. So you can take that chance, and we let people know that. You can take that chance and take that 50% discount tomorrow, but we don't do that until the third day. And instead of going through and repricing everything, I just put up a sign that says everything is 50% off. And so when I have somebody come up that has a $10 item, I will know immediately the math is simple. $5, please. And so that works out really well for us. That is pretty much our strategies for dealing with visibility during a garage sale. Just making sure that you have signage to let people know you do have a garage sale. Also making sure that your items are moving around and staying visually appealing, and then making sure that your pricing is visible so that people don't have to ask a ton of questions. So I want to make one last mention before I end this video of something I hadn't really thought of until just now, and that is timing of your garage sale. Planning your garage sale for a weekend where the weather is inclement will just automatically make it a bust. And knowing what is going on in your community is super important as well. So for instance, I would not want to plan my garage sale for the weekend that the county fair is happening, because I know that half of my community is going to go to the neighboring community for that fair. So I'm going to lose out on that customer base and the potential to sell some of the items that I'm trying to sell. So hopefully we will have a successful garage sale. We typically do. We will make anywhere from $1,000 or more at a normal garage sale. We have a lot of items this time, so I'm confident we'll probably get a little more this time. But we are also trying to sell our stuff, so we are discounting it pretty heavily to get it out of our house. I was almost hesitant to even share this video because we've been doing this for years, and it's second nature to me. But I got to thinking about how many people try garage sales and just are not very successful. And there's a lot of frustration there. And I feel like some of my tricks and tips to actually setting up a garage sale help immensely with some of that frustration. So I hope that this video has been helpful for you, and that if it was, you will give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, would you please leave those in the comments section? And like I said, I've got a lot of work to do here still, but I'm confident that we will get a lot of this stuff sold and I will not have to deal with it anymore. So thanks for watching, and you have a lovely day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.